Transformative education happens not just in classrooms, laboratories, and libraries.
Throughout the university's history, our gymnasiums and playing fields have been the sites of wins and losses, but also of lifelong friendships formed and lifetime lessons learned.
If I could send a message to the donors, I'd thank them for everything, because I do everything that I do on this court because of them. I'm able to use these facilities to the best of my ability, and I'm able to do well in sports and academics because of them.
We've got some last licks of summer in Chicagoland. Almost 90 degrees in the western suburbs as we kick off CCIW play at Langhorse Field. Hi, everyone. Welcome into the press box here at Elmhurst University as the Bluejays prepare to face off with the Illinois Wesleyan Titans. Jason Doro with Dawson Wells. Glad to be working with you today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Exciting matchup here as we kick off conference action. Both teams looking for their first victory, and both teams trying to establish more of a ground game than they had in their season openers.
Yeah, very struggled on the ground. Both teams not putting up a lot of yards on the ground last week. 29 for Elmhurst, only 15 for Illinois Wesleyan. Could be due to a little bit of the game script. Both teams getting blown out early in the season, looking to come back and do better this week.
Yeah, and on the Elmhurst side, a little bit of a shakeup offensively. They did return their starting quarterback and their lead rusher from last year, but they are both out due to injuries. So there are some new faces at quarterback and running back for the Bluejays. However, they do have their 6 leading pass catchers from last year back, so it wouldn't be surprising to see them try to air it out a little bit more this week.
Yeah, for sure. Both teams need to start getting better on offense and moving the ball downfield if they're going to compete in this game. I feel Illinois Wesleyan's going to do that a little bit better with the more experience that they have on their roster compared to Elmhurst. So should be a good, interesting matchup on that front.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, this being a conference matchup, we have some prior tape to look at. If we go back 2 years ago, the most recent meeting here at Elmhurst, Illinois Wesleyan won 21-17, but that was a really tight game. In fact, it entered the fourth quarter tied at 14-14. The Titans used a 12-play, 6-minute drive to take the lead and then held on for the victory. That was another defensive struggle with IWU outgaining Elmhurst 261 yards to 142 yards, so hopefully we see some more offense today. After that tight matchup in 2022, last year's matchup was not so close.
Not so close. Last year in Bloomington, the Blue Jays fell 49-13 to the Titans. Titans were able to get 2 early pick sixes, and after that, ran away with that game, finishing the game 49-13. Pretty defensive struggle, though, after those pick sixes, and both teams looking to get back at it tonight.
And at least in the long term, the Titans have owned the series history. They lead the all-time series 58-12-1. They've won the last 9 matchups and 15 of the last 17 meetings. So Elmhurst is trying to turn the tables on the Titans today. Let's look at a few of those key skill positions, and we can start with Elmhurst. I mentioned that the starting quarterback and starting running back from last year both out due to injuries. Andre Acosta, the former play caller, and then Pollock, the lead tailback from a year ago. So now Elmhurst has John Odom under center, and then a mix of backs who will be taking handoffs from the junior transfer from Judson University. And here comes Illinois Wesleyan onto the field. But how does this new backfield pairing, how do you think it's going to fare in their first home game here, Dawson?
It's going to be interesting. A lot of backs getting a lot of handoffs in their first game. We'll see if they are able to, get more yards than they got last game. And that quarterback front for Elmhurst, not very successful in the air. We'll see if they can have a little bit more success in this game today.
Yeah, I talked with Mike Murray, Elmhurst's second-year head coach, about John Odom, their new starter at quarterback, yesterday, and he said he really gives this team the ability to use the entire playbook. He's not necessarily a running quarterback, but he's mobile enough to open up the offense a little bit, so he's the best combo of arm quality with mobility. And he thinks that having Odom under center gives them a lot more options than some of the more siloed quarterbacks that are lined up behind him. In the backfield, a lot of different options. We talked about the struggles with running the football, but Jalen White, Tavion Porter, Darius Lane all got at least 4 carries in that first game 2 weeks ago. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays have a lot of targets to work with, wide receivers with experience. This might be one of their most experienced rooms when they get into the locker room. Jacob Cockrell had a great season last year, 38 receptions, 550 yards. Max McCarville, Gabe Holdkey, RJ Anderson at tight end. They have depth in the wide receiver room for sure. So both teams getting ready to take the field, and here come the Blue Jays. They will be baking in the sun tonight, 89 degrees, winds less than 10 miles per hour, blowing to the southeast. But how does that change the game for these two sides, Dawson? They're going to need some more hydration breaks, and I imagine both coaches are going to be cycling players in and out more frequently than usual.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be an absolute war tonight in the heat. Hot September day, last couple days of summer. It's going to be an absolute battle with this heat. Both teams are going to have to fight through that battle all night for these 60 minutes.
Most kickoffs in the CCIW, 1 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm glad that they chose 6 p.m. for this game because they would have been steaming had we kicked off at 1 o'clock today. Thankfully, as we drift into fall and the sun starts setting earlier and earlier, the temperature should cool as this game moves along. Elmhurst 0-1 after facing off with Adrian College last week. Meanwhile, Illinois Wesleyan also 0-1 after falling against Central College in Pella, Iowa 2 weekends ago. And as we get ready for the national anthem here at Langhorse Field, we'll step aside and let you tune in to that national anthem.
Remove your hats, face the flag next to the scoreboard for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night
A beautiful rendition of the national anthem, and we are ready for the home opener and conference season opener at Langhorse Field in the western suburbs of Chicagoland. With Dawson Wells, I'm Jason Doro. Should be a fantastic matchup here between the Titans and Blue Jays. As we mentioned during the pregame discussion here, a really close contest 2 years ago when they met on this field, a game that finished 22-17. We looked at some of those key offensive players for Elmhurst, but how about on the Illinois Wesleyan side? Dermot Smythe, the second year, is going to start at quarterback, and just looking at the stat sheet and what you've seen from his past, what are your initial thoughts on the man under center for the Titans?
Yeah, he did, pretty good last week. Not really, or a couple weeks ago, not really what the result they wanted, but Smythe, pretty good, had a 50% completion percentage and was able to throw for 2 touchdowns. So Illinois Wesleyan will be looking for him to do something similar today against the Blue Jays.
Much like Elmhurst, they're going to go with the stable of backs, not one workhorse. And they spread the love between their running backs. Danny Kent, Jahari Scott, Malik Gray, and Melchizedek Woodson will probably all get some action from the backfield, but both teams like to pass it more than they like to run it. Illinois Wesleyan rushed for just 15 yards in the season opener. They threw for 156.
Elmhurst will receive in the west end zone.
So Elmhurst elects to receive in the west end zone. And for the first time this year, they will have the football on their home turf. West end zone, of course, on the left side of your screen, the east end zone to the right. As we view it from the press box here at Langhorse Field. And welcome back inside the press box at Langhorse Field. Dawson Wells, Jason Doro, so glad you could join us for the home opener and conference season opener. So many good teams in the CCIW.
Oh, so many.
And this is where it all starts. If you want a chance at a conference crown, you want to get a victory today.
Yeah, very important for both teams here to get their first conference win of the season and really take a control of the CCIW. Like you mentioned, a lot of great teams. We got North Central, Wheaton, bunch of ranked teams in the CCIW, so it's important to start this season early and get a win.
And of course, North Central last year went 14-1, made it all the way to the D3 National Championship game before falling against Cortland, and they are the favorite to win the conference again this year. IWU picked in 6th, Elmhurst picked in 9th. They've played some close games in the past, but the series history has been dominated by the Titans, and here we go. The ball's in the air, and football season is back in the west suburbs as Elmhurst is able to bring that one out just inside the 30, and that's where they'll start their work on offense on this Saturday evening. It's Tavion Porter on the return for the Blue Jays. Here comes the Elmhurst offense, led by John Odom, junior quarterback from Wheaton, Illinois, who transferred over from Judson University. Takes a look right and wants to air it out for Jacob Cockrell, over his head, incomplete. Elmhurst ambitious with their very first play.
Oh yeah, very ambitious. Looking for him on that outside streak. Came up a little too late looking for Jacob Cockrell, but first incomplete pass for Odom.
Last week, Odom went 8 of 21 through the air for 89 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. In a loss for Elmhurst, 55-20. They jumped out to a 20-0 lead, but gave up 55 straight points. There's a give to Porter, who gets nailed in the backfield. Loss of a yard or 2 on second down, and it's 3rd and long.
Great play here by Danny Kent, coming off. Get Porter back in the backfield for a tackle of loss.
Frank Roche was in there to blow up that play from the start. Senior captain and starting linebacker. He's been a 4-year starter for the Titans. 3rd and 11. Odom steps up, looks over the middle, and it's off the helmet of his intended target, Gabe Holtke. Holtke was looking directly into the sun, and that might have been an issue here, Dawson.
Yeah, it's a pretty good route over for Holtke. Looked like a little bit behind him, though. Couldn't really get it out in front of him. Gets out in front, plenty of space for Holtke to run here. But ball goes incomplete, and Elmhurst have to punt.
Giovanni Oristano, the punter for Elmhurst. Freshman from Roselle, gets a high snap. Here comes the rush. He barely gets it away. And the Titans will let this one drop. Marco Polaganis elects to let it roll across the 40, and Elmhurst downs it at the 38. So a 3-and-out. Solid stop for the IWU defense, and now we'll see them on offense for the first time.
Yeah, pretty good field position for their first drive here, right around the 39-yard line.
Dermot Smythe, the Titan quarterback, sophomore from Chicago, went 22 of 44 last week, and he's going to hand off on their first play from scrimmage, and plenty of running room for Jahari Scott around the edge. He blows past everyone. It's a house call on the first play from scrimmage for Illinois Wesleyan. Jahari Scott goes 61 yards.
Yeah, we were talking about it in pregame. Both teams need to get the run going. Jahari Scott here with a great outside run. Makes a couple man miss, and he's just gone. Great run from Jahari Scott early in this game to give the Titans the lead.
And the junior from Lake Bluff leaves Bluejays in his dust. And it's 6-0 Titans right away.
Elmhurst have a player down here, right around the 40-yard line.
He's holding his right shoulder. It's Trey Jackson, who will slowly walk off the field. So a slight delay after the opening play touchdown for Jahari Scott. IWU lines up with the swinging gate, but they'll probably just kick the PAT. As Caden Youngie lines it up, sophomore kicker from Mattoon. And he gets the kick away and through the uprights. Easy work from Mattoon, and it's 7-0 Titans.
And that's just how you want to start the game here with a 61-yard run from Scott. One play, one touchdown. That's how the Titans exactly want to start their CCIW season in this difficult conference. They've already more than totaled their rushing yards from last game and get their first rushing touchdown of the year on that single play run.
They've quadrupled it.
Yep.
They had 15 yards on the ground last week. It was a tough team they were playing in Central College out in Pella, Iowa. They had just 15 2 weeks ago. Got to remember that both these teams had a bye week last weekend, so it's been 2 weeks since either of them have seen a real opponent. But yeah, 61-yard take from Scott. And now we'll see if Elmhurst can respond. Youngie tees it up. Porter is deep alongside Chase Mendoza. Youngie boots it away. Porter will take this one from inside the 5. Angles to his left, and he's got some room. Dashes past a couple of Titans before he's rolled down at the 27. Frank Roti makes the tackle.
Great move from Porter to get it outside. Almost had one more man to beat. We'll see it here. Pretty good return from him. Cuts it out. Great move here to get past the Titan. Almost one more man. Brings him down.
Porter is one of a handful of transfers from College of DuPage, who are now Blue Jays. And Elmhurst wants to get him more involved on special teams. Jalen White, the running back, now next to Odom. Odom with a quick drop, zips it out to the left side, catch is made, and Max McCarville is immediately swallowed up by 3 different tight ends. Short gain on first down.
And that's what we want to see from Odom here. 2 long passes in his first 2 attempts. Nice quick short one to get his first completion of the game. I'm just looking to go forward now.
McCarville had 22 grabs last year for 191 yards. One of the top targets for Andre Acosta in the Bluejay offense a year ago. 2nd and 7. Odom takes a low snap. And White gets gobbled up. But he'll carry a tight end forward for a short gain. Josh Lavacek makes the stop here.
Porter had a pretty big hole there. O-line doing a pretty good job getting a little bit of space, but the linebacker is able to come down and stop him before he gets too far.
That makes it 3rd and manageable. 3rd down and 4. Cockrell and McCarville split out wide right. Odom will roll that way, throws it for McCarville, and it's knocked away. Jimmy Capecci gets in there at the last second and pops it out of the hands of McCarville. It's 4th down.
Yeah, that's a great play from the Titan defensive back there. Knocking away last second, came in, timed it wonderfully to meet the player right before the ball got there. Knock it away, and Elmhurst have to punt yet again.
And Jimmy Capecci, the senior from Springfield, who had 6 pass breakups last season. This is another good punt, and briefly bobbled by Polygonis, but he brings it in. And now he's got room to rumble across the 40 with light blue jerseys streaming that way, and they'll gang tackle him at the 46.
And what a recovery on that punt return. Looked like it was going to go over his head right around the 20, and he bobbled it just a little bit, recovered, and brought it up for pretty good field position for the Titans on their second drive.
A return of 23 yards, and once again, Illinois Wesleyan starts with solid field position. Their first drive was 1 play, 61 yards, and a touchdown. Jahari Scott rumbling it all the way in. Smythe gets this drive started with a handoff up the middle, and Danny Kent darts between Bluejays for a short gain.
Bluejays able to get a stop on the run there after that long run in the Titans' first drive.
Both teams electing to mix up their running backs. IWU going to Kent after having Scott out there for drive number 1. 2nd and 7. Smythe fakes the handoff. Guns it over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Trey Moore. Great defense on the play by Trey Jackson.
Yeah, great play by Jackson. Ball just a little out in front, but Jackson needed to get that deflection in and did. And that makes it a tough 3rd down here for the Titans.
An early chance for the Blue Jays to get a 3 and out and get off the field. Opponents converted 40% of the time against the Blue Jays last year. Smythe rolls left this time. Zips it, finds Moore, and he's got first down yardage before he's popped by Talon West. Just enough to move the chains.
And that's a pretty good play call here. Put the man in motion, get him out into the flat, and find him. Good yard after catch to get the first down for the Titans.
And correction, it's 4th down. 4th down and short. It looked like Moore had enough, but he is inches shy of the line to gain. Smythe gets under center, and he's just going to burrow his way through the middle of the defense for a first down.
Yeah, a little tush-push action there to gain that first down.
No one got in there in time to do much of the pushing on the tush, but that IWU offensive line with a size and experience advantage against the Elmhurst front. First and 10 now in Bluejay territory. Smythe puts Miles Key in motion and fakes the handoff, sprints right up the middle, and he's tumbled down inside the 25.
Nice little option play here for the Titans. Smythe decided to keep it and had a lot of space up at the middle of the field. Great blocking all the way up. Pretty good run for Smythe.
A rush of 19 yards after he ran it 7 times 2 weeks ago for -2 yards. Titans with early success on the ground. They'll keep it there on first down and 10, but Kent is hit in the backfield, spins away from a Bluejay, and now he's rushing up the near sideline. Finally torn down near the 5 as Jeffrey Laylater rolls him out of bounds.
And great bounce off here from Kent to switch the run. Was bottled up in that middle of the area, right around the line of scrimmage and the offensive line, bounces it outside and gets plenty of yards for a gain of 20 on that play.
They mark him down at the 8, officially a rush of 15. First down and goal. Smythe with Moore in motion, fakes the handoff, takes it himself again, cuts to his left before he's pummeled by Justin Harris.
Good play by Justin Harris to stay home and get to the quarterback. Another keeper for Smythe trying to make a play in the middle, but Bluejay is able to cover that up pretty well.
Smythe did have a big day on the ground against Elmhurst last year, rushing for 3 touchdowns in the 49-13 victory. Second and goal from the 5. Smythe and Kent in the backfield. Handoff for Kent, looking left. The Blue Jays close that hole quickly, though, and hold Kent to a gain of 2.
Yeah, Blue Jays would love to hold the Titans out of the end zone here. Third down now, close to the line. Made 2 good stops on the rush. Titans trying to pound it in and get off to an early lead.
Third and goal from the 4. A drive that started at the Titan 46. Smythe wants to take it himself. He's got daylight and he's got 6. The Titans roll it down the field for an easy touchdown, and it's 13-0.
Yeah, Blue Jays struggling so far on these outside runs to stop the Titans. Multiple plays now in this drive and in their first drive where they're attacking just this outside area. Very little Blue Jays there to stop them.
3 rushing touchdowns for Smythe last year against Elmhurst, and he's got 1 here in the first 7 minutes of this ball game. Caden Youngie on for the PAT. And he boots it straight through.
And we talked a little bit about it pregame. Both teams need to start rushing the ball a little bit more to free up that pass. Illinois Wesleyan really taking that advice to heart. Already 8 attempts for 109 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Way more than they had last week. That's for sure.
And they've made it look pretty easy so far. It is a veteran bunch for the Titans. They returned 7 offensive starters, including basically every skill position player. The only exception is their starting running back from last year, Seth Albin. Otherwise, they're able to rely on guys who have been around for 2, 3, maybe even 4 years.
And that experience is really showing early in this game. On the defensive and offensive end for the Titans, they've been commanding on both sides of the football early in this game.
Caden Youngie to boot it away. Porter and Mendoza deep. Mendoza lets Porter take this one at the goal line. Porter had a nice return last time, and he's going to bowl over at least one tight end. And this play is blown dead as Porter's knee clipped the ground at the 22-yard line. Another pretty good return, though, after he was backpedaling into the end zone to haul this in.
Yeah, I was able to get out towards the 20-yard line. Was able to beat a couple and shed some tackles to get there. And he just clipped the ground, or else he would have been kept going.
Odom brings his troops back out there after a couple of short drives, looking for a response following back-to-back tight end touchdowns. Odom with a rush coming, fires over the middle, and connects with Chase Mendoza for a short gain on first down.
And that's what you want to see a little bit more of. Odom having these deep passes early in this game. He's had 2 completions now on these short routes. Just a couple of yards there, but that's what you want to see, not behind the sticks on 2nd and 3rd down.
Odom now 3 of 6 through the air after that connection. And he's got 2nd down and 3. They'll go empty backfield again until Mendoza goes in motion, takes the handoff, curls up the middle, and runs right over a tight end defender at the 34-yard line. And Elmhurst has gained its first down of the day.
Yeah, Mendoza plows over the Titans defender there to gain that first down. Illinois offense finally showing a little bit of life here. Maybe they can keep it going on this drive.
Mendoza's listed as a tight end, 5'10", 190 pounds, junior out of Saginaw, Michigan. Certainly showed the power on that run. 1st and 10. Odom, short drop. Couple of pump fakes, now rolls right. And he finds Cockrell along the sideline. The veteran wideout keeps the feet in bounds and picks up another first down for the Blue Jays.
And good read there from Odom. Had 2 pump fakes there, rolled out of the pocket to keep the play alive, and was able to find Cockrell for another first down. Roll out there from Odom, working pretty effectively for the Blue Jays as they keep this drive going.
And Elmhurst needs Cockrell to be more involved this week than he was 2 weeks ago. No receptions in the season opener against Adrian College. So 1st and 10. Odom will keep it. And he's got some daylight. Dashes past one defender, and he's taken down from behind inside the 30. John Gavin tracks him down from behind, but the Blue Jay quarterback making something happening with his feet.
And Blue Jays got 2 great blocks here on the outside. That's number 83, R.J. Anderson, able to seal off the edge for Odom, and was able to get a big gain here for the Blue Jays, and Blue Jays are in business.
28-yard rush for Odom, who Mike Murray told us isn't that great a runner, but he sure looked the part on that 28-yard carry. 1st and 10 at the 25. Odom lobs this one, corner of the end zone. A diving attempt, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Zach Henderson.
Yeah, just out of reach here for Henderson. Ball looked a little too far for him on that play.
Good coverage from Anthony Lamontia, senior safety, blanketing Henderson. So we've seen Elmhurst take a couple of deep shots, and they've certainly been willing to put the ball in the air on this 3rd drive of the game. 2nd and 10. Darius Lane in the backfield with Odom. Odom looks left, comes back to his right, and he finds Seth Desmore, who burrows beneath the defender, steps out of bounds with solid 2nd down yardage.
Yeah, the Blue Jays more than happy to attack the Titans on the air. That's Odom's 7th pass already in this game.
That brings up 3rd down and 3 after a gain of 7. Odom will be alongside Lane in the backfield with Tripp split out wide to the left. Odom dashes to his right, looking back to his left, and just throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, he was looking over the middle here, trying to find one of these in routes, and one of these crossing routes, just couldn't get it there. Titans able to cover up the run. We've seen Odom already roll out of the pocket and get big yardage, just unable to find his receiver.
And on 4th down and 3, Elmhurst will bring out their new freshman kicker, Marco Davila, on for his first field goal attempt in a Bluejay uniform. Snap good, hold down, kick blocked. A line drive kick is knocked down by the Titans, and they're going to try to return it. They've got some room, too. Finally torn down at the 45. Artist Benjamin was the one to scoop it up and then race it 20 yards up the field.
Yeah, not what you want to see out of your first collegiate field goal attempt. Didn't get enough height on it to get it over the line. Titans able to get a block on it and almost had a big return. Had a little bit of space here, but brought down. Again, a good field position for the Titans to start their drive.
Wesleyan has been able to pound the ball on the ground so far. 8 rushes for 109 yards and 2 scores. Drive number 3 starts near midfield, and Smythe quickly finds Miles Key along the far sideline. Key spins away from a defender and picks up a first down.
Good move here from Key to keep the ball in play. Looked like he was going to go out of bounds, hit the spin move for the first down.
Key's first grab of the day, and if Illinois Wesleyan wants to put the ball in the air more often, expect him to get more involved. First team all-conference last year, and he was named the team's offensive MVP with 716 receiving yards. 1st and 10. Here's a handoff for Mel Woodson. Woodson trying to stretch it out to the left side, but he gets torn down at the 42. Just a gain of 1 on first down.
Yeah, Wesleyan trying again to attack that outside of the Elmhurst defensive line. They do a better job here to stop them up and only hold them for a short gain.
The Titans using every back in their running back stable. 2nd and 9. Smythe fakes the handoff, rolls right, and he finds his intended target in the flat. That'll be another first down for the Titans. Grab made by Marco Polygonis.
And another very similar play to that one that we just saw from the Titans. Roll out from Smythe and a little crosser for an easy completion for their first down.
Is there anything Elmhurst can do to slow down this Titan offense?
Well, they're attacking that outside a lot, so it's going to be tough for both in the air and on the run.
Smythe finds a hole, jukes left, now headed for the pylon. He's in.
And Smythe with another, look like play action, little option route for him. Finds the hole and able to motor down for an easy touchdown.
A 30-yard scamper for the Illinois Wesleyan quarterback. He's got 2 on the ground today, and it's a 20-0 lead.
Yeah, and it's attacking those edge defenders yet again. Malachi Correa and Vitor Abanya for Elmhurst just unable to get a lot of pressure and containment.
Youngie on for the extra point. Straight through the uprights. Well, for Elmhurst, they've seen a very similar situation. They were just on the opposite side of it. You go back to their season opener 2 weeks ago. They led 20-0. They wound up losing 55-20. So they've seen this story before, and now they just want to flip the script.
Yeah, hopefully they can come back in this game. You know, like you just said, they had this in their first game on the opposite end. They know what it takes to come back, but they blew that lead. So it's another story of, can they come back in this game, reverse what they did last week, and get back in this game.
Yeah. One thing Mike Murray said about that game, is the defense was on the field so much for Elmhurst, even though they had that 20-0 lead, that they wore down and their lack of depth was exposed. They were getting defensive touchdowns and special teams touchdowns and building that 20-0 lead, and the defense never got a breather, and they just got worn down after staying on the field for such an extended period. Good kick from Youngie. This one results in a touchback.
Yeah, and going back to what you were saying, we're seeing that a little bit already in this game today. 2 quick opening drives for the Blue Jays, and the Elmhurst defense just on the field constantly so far in this game. Only 1 long drive for Elmhurst. They're going to look to get that drive going up again. Give their defense just a little bit of a break, and maybe they can get a little bit of containment on the run.
Elmhurst almost has the longest drive of this game. Their last drive, 8 plays, 60 yards. Illinois Wesleyan's opening drive went for 61 yards, but that's the longest by only 1 yard. So we'll see if Elmhurst can string something together again and get a better final product. Blue Jays in the hole as they start this drive at the 25. Odom rolls right, guns it back across his body, and it lands incomplete, looking for Cockrell.
Yeah, and Elmhurst trying to utilize that rollout from Odom, use his athleticism a little bit to get that ball downfield, just unable to put an accurate pass together.
And we've seen that athleticism already a couple of times today. He had a 28-yard rush on the last drive, and it seems like the Titans aren't going to let him escape like that again.
No, they're really locking down now. After that run, they've kept the containment in, kept a couple of their defensive backs further down in the flats to hold them.
Porter next to Odom in the backfield on 2nd and 10. Blue Jays throwing again. Odom steps up, and he's taken down. First sack of the game for Illinois Wesleyan as Josh Lavacek gets home.
And pretty good pressure on that outside from Zach McNeese, able to push Odom up into the pocket and kind of create that sack.
And there's an injured Blue Jay down on the field. Javon Manuel is getting attention from the training staff. So after that sack, it's going to be 3rd down and 12. And already in the hole, 21-0. No reason not for Elmhurst to be ambitious. We'll step aside as the training staff works with Manuel. Welcome back to Langhorse Field, 21-0. The Titans have built a significant lead in the opening period, and it's 3rd down and 12 for the Blue Jays. Their 4th drive of the game. Javon Manuel just left the contest after suffering an injury. Odom takes the snap on 3rd and long. Zips this one for R.J. Anderson, and it lands incomplete. 4th down and 12.
And this is pretty similar to what's happened last game with Odom. Only 8 for 21 in his last game. 4 for 10 in this game. Not very accurate so far for the young quarterback.
Giovanni Oristano back out to punt with Polygonis deep for Illinois Wesleyan. And he barely gets this one away. It bounces at the 36 and takes a tight end bounce. The Blue Jays scoop it up at the 33. And that punt's only going to be good for about 9 yards.
Yeah, not a great punt there for the Blue Jays, and it sets up Illinois Wesleyan Titans in fantastic field position. All of their drives have started from pretty close to midfield or in positive territory so far in this game.
Wesleyan with its best starting field position of the day, starting this drive at the Elmhurst 33. Smythe hands it off, and it's a reverse for Miles Key. Key has daylight up the near sideline, and he'll scamper out of bounds just shy of the 20. Looks like a gain of 9 on first down.
Yeah, great play call there. Almost overcommitted to that first run. Titans able to attack him on the backside with Key.
With how explosive he is, they're going to find different ways to get him involved. First team all-conference last year, the team's offensive MVP. Had 3 games last year with 100-plus receiving yards. Smythe fakes the handoff, looks right. He finds Key, and Key gets rolled down quickly by Talon West, but that will be good for a first down.
Yeah, they're really attacking Key here, wanting to get him early in this game. I believe that's his second catch of the game for a couple more yards, but really trying to go through him for their offense.
The Titans into the red zone. First and 10 at the 17. Fake handoff, and Smythe wants to scramble right. Gets bludgeoned inside the 15, but sticks with it before he's finally taken down at the 8.
And what a great run from Smythe here to bounce off a couple tackles. Looks like he got hit pretty hard right there. Was able to bounce off of it and keep moving, getting near that first down marker.
9-yard rush for Smythe, who's now got almost 50 yards on the ground today. Quarterback with a couple of rushing scores after he ran it in 3 times against Elmhurst last year. Second and short, handoff for Scott, dances off a Bluejay, spins his way through traffic, and stretches it down to the 2-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like Elmhurst are trying to contain a little bit more after they've been beaten on these outside runs, forcing Scott back inside to where their linebackers are, and just hold him before he gets to the end zone.
Scott almost went untouched on his first run of the game, a 61-yard scamper for a touchdown on the Titans' first offensive play of the game, and he's got them knocking on the door as we hit the end of the first quarter. We'll step aside. Titans up 21-0 after 15 minutes at Langhorse Field.
When I graduated in 2020 with my undergrad, I knew I wanted to continue my education. It was a natural choice to come back.
Start of the second quarter at Langhorse Field. And it's first down and goal here for Illinois Wesleyan. Smythe in the shotgun. Tucks it, wants to run, and he gets undercut. Nice play by the Blue Jays, and specifically Jace Safiro to take out the legs of Smythe before he could find Pater.
Yeah, it looked like Smythe wanted to throw there, a little RPO action. Kept it himself and tried to get forward, but Blue Jays finally able to get some pressure on that defensive line and hold Smythe before he got into the end zone.
Second down and goal from the 2. Trey Moore in motion. Smythe rolls left, looks for Moore, throws it a bit short, and Moore has to dive to haul it in. No gain on second down.
Yeah, a little underthrown here from Smythe. Didn't really give his man a chance to make a play towards the end zone, and Elmhurst have a good chance here on 3rd and goal from about the 4-yard line to get a stop.
Blue Jays looking for a stop. They've surrendered a touchdown on every drive prior. 3rd down and goal. Kent has joined Smythe in the backfield. Smythe fakes the handoff. A rusher coming. Floats it to the end zone. Touchdown Titans. Colin Elledge brings it in. His 2nd score of the season, and it's 27-0 Illinois Wesleyan.
Yeah, just looks like a busted coverage from the Blue Jays. Left him wide open as they get a little bit pressure on the quarterback. First time in this game, but busted coverage in the back, and Titans score yet another touchdown.
Elledge had only 1 reception last year. He had only 1 reception so far this year. It was also a touchdown, a 7-yard grab. First 6 in the Titans' season opener. Youngie puts the kick up and through the uprights, and it's 28-zip early in quarter number 2.
Yeah, here we see the touchdown again. Busted coverage in the back. No one picks him up, and he's wide open for the touchdown. As Illinois Wesleyan goes up 28-0 early in this game.
Elmhurst kind of rolled the dice there, right? Brought the house, significant blitz there. Lowry had a straight shot at Smythe, but couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, and left him wide open, but that's what you got to do when you're down 21-0 early in the game, trying to make plays happen on the defensive side, get stops, but a little too big of a gamble for the Blue Jays, and they give up the touchdown.
That last drive goes 7 plays, 33 yards in 3.5 minutes. Elledge caps it off with the touchdown. And the first passing score of the day for Wesleyan. Youngie boots it away. And Porter takes this one from the far hashes. Angles to the near sideline. Gets past one tight end defender. And then he's spun down just across the 30. Another solid return from Tavion Porter.
Yeah, Tavion Porter's been pretty good returning the ball, averaging about 12 yards per return so far. Had along of 23. He's helping the Blue Jays start in a little bit better field position than touchbacks, but not by much.
Elmhurst's first 2 drives were 3 and outs. Then they went 8 plays for 60 yards before a blocked field goal attempt. Last drive, another 3 and out. Odom under center, joined by Porter. Fakes the handoff and now runs left. He's got room to rumble across midfield. Finally run out of bounds near the 40.
And Odom's been really the Blue Jays offense through this game. Another long run for him there. Had a pretty previous long run for the Blue Jays to get in opposing territory and rips off another one right there.
A 27-yard scramble for Odom, who had a 28-yard rush earlier, and he's proven to be the Blue Jays' biggest threat offensively so far. 4 of 11 through the air for 31 yards. Elmhurst wants to get the passing game going. 1st and 10 in Titan territory. Odom steps up, launches this one for Cockrell, and he finds him! A 41-yard dart to Jacob Cockrell, and Elmhurst is on the board.
And that's exactly what you want to have happen early in this second quarter. Blue Jays able to strike back with this long touchdown to Cockrell. We'll see the replay here. Just a flat-out streak. Odom steps up in the bucket, launches it, and Cockrell is able to beat his man, number 22 for the Titans, Artis Benjamin there.
Marco Davila on for the extra point, and it's good. Nice play by Odom. You talked about his ability to escape here, and then he throws that one not truly with his feet set. Sort of an unorthodox toss, but it's right in the bucket for Cockrell.
Kind of looked like a shortstop in baseball right there. Off-balance throw over the top and is able to find Cockrell for that long touchdown pass. And Blue Jays are in business now. Just need a couple defensive stops, and they're back in this game.
And they certainly need Cockrell involved. No receptions in the season opener that Elmhurst lost 55-20. So far in this game, just the 2 grabs, but good for 54 yards and a score.
Yeah, and they're certainly targeting him too. 4 targets on the game, 2 catches. So they want to use him and get him activated more in this offense, unlike what they were able to do last game.
Last year, the Titans truly neutralized Elmhurst's best deep threat. Cockrell had just 2 grabs for 13 yards in last year's matchup. Davila sends a line drive up the middle. Bounces around after it caroms off Jahari Scott. He scoops it up. Now he's got room. Trying to beat Davila around the corner. Scott in a foot race. Can he beat Laylighter? Not quite. Pushed out of bounds at the 2.
And that's not what you want to see. Right after you score a touchdown, you give the long kick return. Kind of bobbled it first off, but after he gets control of it, explodes out of that back area for the long return. Laylighter's able to save that touchdown, but Titans are in business.
That kickoff really started exactly how Elmhurst would like, bouncing in front of Scott, who was an All-American, by the way, for his special teams play a year ago. And it took him a second to recover, but that Elmhurst kick coverage fails to corral him. And now it's 1st and goal inside the 5 for Illinois Wesleyan. Smythe in the gun, joined by Kent. Fakes the handoff, puts his head down, and he's plunged to the turf near the 1-yard line.
Good defense there from the Blue Jays to plug up the hole for Smythe, unable to get through. No room for Smythe to get through.
Second and goal. Elmhurst was able to bow up for a couple of plays last drive on the goal line before Smythe found Colin Elledge for a touchdown. Handoff for Kent, stretching it out to the left side. Now cuts upfield, and he's into the end zone for 6.
And just unable to get the tackle there for the Blue Jays as Illinois Wesleyan goes outside on a run yet again. We've seen it a lot in this game so far. Blue Jays did a pretty good job covering off on that outside, just unable to get him in the backfield for a tackle. Illinois Wesleyan scores a quick touchdown.
First rushing touchdown of Danny Kent's career. Here's Youngie for the PAT. This one's blocked. The Blue Jays get their hands up. Connor DeVries at 6 foot. The safety able to swat it down so it stays 34-7. One more look at the touchdown run from Kent.
Yeah, great outside run for the Titans. And like I said, we've seen it a lot in this game. They like to attack that outside space. They've done it very effectively in this game. Blue Jays almost getting the stop there, just unable to make the tackle.
So Elmhurst at least able to take a little bit of momentum at the end of that drive, holding 1 point off the board from the Titans. And now we'll see if they can replicate their most recent drive. Both teams 0-1 and playing their CCIW conference season opener. This one's booted toward the corner and out of bounds. So a mistake from Youngie after the blocked PAT, and that will give Elmhurst its best starting field position of the ball game.
Yeah, now they got to capitalize on offense after that two-play 68-yard drive for the Blue Jays. Now they need to capitalize on this great starting field position, their best of the day.
Every single drive to this point for Elmhurst had started between the Blue Jay 22 and 32. So they've had an uphill battle on every drive to this point. But their offense has a little momentum as they come back out onto the field following a pretty short breather on the two-play touchdown drive for the Titans. Odom and Lane in the backfield on first down. Odom dancing to his left. Still looking downfield and chucks it out of play.
Yeah, and that's the wrong side for Odom. Had to go across his body on that throw. Good pressure here from the Titans defense with like 97 getting through Nathan Schmidt out of Chicago. Went to high school right down the street at IACC Catholic Prep in Elmhurst.
A lot of local products on both of these rosters. John Odom being one of them from Wheaton. Went to Wheaton Warrenville South. Transferred to Elmhurst from Judson University in Elgin. He takes the snap on 2nd and 10. Zips it over the middle, finds Cockrell dashing through the middle of the field, and he's spun down at the 41. Another big gainer for the junior.
And you see him here on the bottom of your screen. Nice cut on this little in-route slant combination to get open in that middle of the field, and that's his third catch on the day, moving the Blue Jays upfield more.
"26 yards for Cockrell on the ground. He's got 80 yards receiving so far today, including the touchdown on the Blue Jays' last drive. 1st and 10, Odom steps up, evades one defender, then he's swarmed. Spun down by Josh Lovacek, who's got another sack.
Good containment here for the Titans. Put a lot of pressure on Odom early, make him step up in the pocket, and there's nowhere to go there. Brought down. Blue Jays are behind the sticks for the second down.
Boundary.
2nd and 14. Here's a handoff. And a solid run there for Chase Mendoza. The tight end shuffles into the backfield and then scampers up the middle for a solid gain.
And that's the second time we've seen him do that in this game so far, and it's worked both times. Finds the hole and is able to fight upfield. Makes this a manageable third down for the Blue Jays.
A 10-yard gain makes it 3rd down and 4. Likely 4-down territory for Elmhurst. Let's see how Mike Murray and his Blue Jays attack this 3rd down and manageable. Odom throws left, batted down. Sam Schott got his hands up and swatted it away.
Good defense there. Sat in his zone very well and is able to jump up and block this. Looks like Elmhurst are going to go for it here on 4th down. Down a bunch of scores early in this second quarter.
Do you agree with the decision to go for it? It seems like trailing by this many points in opponent territory, manageable distance at 4 yards, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you got to start putting points on the board. Down this many points in opponent territory, might as well go for it.
Odom to the right, connects, and the Blue Jays have a 1st down. Gabe Holtke moves the chains.
And there you go. Now Blue Jays A lot better field position here. Convert on this 4th down. Nice little curl. Defender sat back, and Odom's able to just get it off quickly and find him.
Odom moves over 100 passing yards with that throw to Holtke. And Elmhurst extends the drive, trying to make it back-to-back scoring drives after they went empty on their first 4 tries today. Odom looks right, pump fakes, pressure coming. He's wrangled. Brought down by Zach McNeese.
Yeah, great pressure off the ball here from McNeese. See him off this corner. Just able to bull rush past his man on the speed rush and just grabs Odom right around the jersey and able to keep him and contain him and bring him down.
McNeese can be a real game wrecker. His first team all CCIW last year with 46 tackles, including 20 and a half tackles for loss, a mark that led the conference and was 5th best in the nation. Odom bobbles the snap, throws right, almost intercepted. Off the mitts of a tight end out there. Artis Benjamin had a chance to take this one the other way.
Yeah, and Odom had to get rid of that ball quickly after the bobbled snap. Titans bearing down on him after that heavy pressure, and he just throws it away, trying to get it out quickly. Almost causes a turnover, but Bluejay's alive here for this 3rd down.
3rd and 16. Are you trying to just chew off half of that and make 4th down a little bit easier here?
Yeah, you want to try to get as much of this yardage back as possible to make a 4th down easy.
Odom looks left, pressure coming, dumps it off, finds Mendoza, darting to the left. He gets table-topped at the 20, spun down to the 19, and they chewed off a whole lot of that 16 yards here.
Yeah, it looked like a screen pass here. Titans get a lot of pressure, but Elmhurst able to let him through. And it's exactly what you want on 3rd and long to get this to 4th, and I believe 4th and 2 on this play. Manageable 4th down here for the Bluejays.
Odom now 8 of 18 for 106 yards. Blue Jays have only run the ball 9 times tonight. 4th down and 2. Porter behind Odom in the pistol. He fakes the handoff, rolls left. Pass is batted. Anderson dives for it, incomplete. The Titans get a big stop.
Yeah, and Odom had to roll out to his opposite hand, had to throw across his body here. Titans brought a lot of pressure. Looked like the pass got tipped a little bit there as it was going in. Never looked like it was destined to reach his receiver. Great defense there from the Titans as they get the turnover on downs.
Titan offense comes back out with its worst starting field position of the day. In fact, the last 2 drives started at the Elmhurst 2 and the Elmhurst 33. This time they're inside their own 20. Smythe pulls it, runs left, trying to beat all of the Blue Jays to the sideline, but they're able to rally to the football and force him out near the 20.
Yeah, good containment that time for the Blue Jays, able to keep Smythe from getting a big run that he's able to get so far in this game. Big runs from Smythe, his longest on the day, 31 yards. He's run for 48 so far.
On 7 carries, 2 of them for touchdowns. 2nd down and 9. Smythe drops back, looks right, and he finds Trey Moore. Moore cuts to his left, dodges past a couple of Blue Jays, and he's got a 1st down.
Smythe had a lot of time in this pocket to throw. Not a lot of pressure from the Blue Jays, and is able to find his target. Makes a couple of man miss and is able to get up for this 1st down.
Last year, Moore had 24 receptions for 456 yards and 5 touchdowns. He's seen tremendous growth over his time as a Titan. Back in 2021 as a freshman, he was named their Scout Player of the Year. Now he's one of their stars. Fake handoff. Smythe rolls right and chucks this one for Moore off his hands, incomplete.
And we've seen it from both quarterbacks in this game. Smythe rolling out, trying to make something happen. Was looking for more again on this play. Just a little too far for him to bring it in.
Second down and 10. Elmhurst with more leeway here to bend without breaking. After Illinois Wesleyan had to start this drive inside their own 20. Handoff for Woodson, chops the feet, burrows his head, and gets across the 35. Gain of about 3, which will make it 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, good defense there from the Blue Jays. Able to contain that run. Doing a lot better on this drive, containing that run. After giving up 168 yards so far in this game on 18 attempts.
The Titans have scored a touchdown in every drive so far, but it's 3rd and 7 here. Smythe throws far right, and the Blue Jays get a stop. Polaganis brings this one in, but well short of the sticks, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, great play from the Blue Jays here. Tried to pass it, Smythe passed it in the flat, but Elmhurst right there to stop the Titans on this drive.
There is a flag down on the far side of the field. This has been an incredibly clean game to this point. We've hardly had to go to our referee. That is an absolute backbreaker for the Blue Jays, a face mask call against Jeffrey Laylighter. The Blue Jay defense about to get off the field for the first time today after allowing 5 straight touchdown drives. Instead, a 15-yard penalty that gets the Titans across midfield.
Yeah, and you got to be a little bit more disciplined out in that. After your defense has struggled in this game, you finally get a stop, but negated by penalty.
Smythe tucks it and runs right up the middle. Gets it down to the 44, a gain of 4.
Quarterback keeper here, offensive line for the Titans. Gets a lot of good blocks, wide open hole up the gap in the middle. Smythe able to get a couple yards on that run.
This hurts Elmhurst even more because we're ticking under 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. They were about to get the ball with time left to put together a solid drive. Instead, the Titans can just chew up the clock now. Smythe fakes the handoff, and he's going to pitch this one for Jahari Scott, stretching it out to the near sideline, but a great open field tackle made by Connor DeVries.
And we've seen these option plays from the Titans, a little triple option here. Smythe pulls it off from his running back, flips it off, and Elmhurst able to cover off well. They've really defended this outside runs a lot better since that first quarter, where they just got destroyed on them. And they got a chance for another stop here.
The Blue Jays trying to make up for the face mask penalty that they committed on the last 3rd and long. Smythe in the gun. Scans. Airs it out up the far sideline. Incomplete. He was looking for Trey Moore. And it's 4th down and 9.
And he had him wide open past his defender, underthrew this ball. Trey Moore had his defender beat. Deep downfield, just underthrown from Smythe. And Blue Jays are going to get the ball back here.
Yeah, if that ball is further up the sideline, that could have been a touchdown. And put the Titans over 40 points in the first half. Instead, Johnny Miles is out there for the first time today. He takes a low snap, gets a solid punt off that drops just inside the 20, then takes a little Elmhurst bounce before the Titans down it. So a punt of about 25 yards gives the Blue Jays the ball back with less than 3 minutes to play before halftime. Dawson, I'm guessing the ideal situation here for Elmhurst is a 2.5-minute drive that results in a score before the break.
Yeah, and you want to put it in Odom's hands here. He's looked a lot better in this second quarter, throwing it a lot more with accuracy, getting a lot more completions and downfield. Already has totaled and got more yards passing than he did last game. Want to keep that going for the Blue Jays.
Odom and White in the backfield on first down. Odom throws for Cockrell. It's low. And they do call it complete. It looked like the ball skipped, but Cockrell got his hands underneath it at the 25-yard line.
Good catch from Cockrell there to get the hands under. Blue Jays want to go quickly here.
Cockrell with 85 yards receiving now. 5 grabs, 1 touchdown. Just over 2 minutes to go before the break. Odom steps up, slips past one defender, then he finds Cockrell again. Cockrell slips away from a defender, but then he lost the football, and the Titans fall on it at the 40.
2 great plays there. One from Odom, able to step off and break the sack in the pocket, gets it to his main receiver in this game, Cockrell. Good play from Cockrell to get past his guy, but gets the ball punched out, and Titans able to recover it. That's just a backbreaker for the Blue Jays.
Artis Benjamin falls on it for Illinois Wesleyan, and they get the ball back inside Blue Jay territory as we hit the 2-minute timeout. A little change here this season, Dawson. We got a break here with under 2 to play.
Yeah, I think college offenses like this change a lot. Got a lot more time with the ball. Got a little bit more conversation. It's basically like a 4th timeout that you get late in this second quarter instead of the clock keep moving like it did in previous seasons.
So the Titans march back out. And do you think they have enough time here to really focus on the ground game?
I think if you're the Titans, you want to put this game away going into halftime. You get the ball coming out of half. You want to get another touchdown here before the half and just drive it home. Put this game really out of reach for the Blue Jays.
Illinois Wesleyan has 173 rushing yards, 49 passing yards today. So they've been able to just hammer away on the ground to this point. Smythe with Woodson. And he dumps it off for Woodson in the flat. Angles to his left, stops on a dime, and then he gets pushed out of bounds at the 33-yard line, a gain of 7.
Yeah, and if you're the Elmhurst defense, you want to try to, as hard as possible, to keep him in bounds, waste as much clock as you can. Be able to stay on his feet and get pushed out. Is Woodson.
Both teams have all 3 timeouts left. So the Titans can do whatever they want offensively here. Handoff for Woodson. Cuts to his right, then gets undercut right at the 30. He might be a half-yard shy of the line to gain.
Good play there from the Elmhurst linebacker. Looks like that was Jace Zeffiro making that play.
And Elmhurst needs Zafiro to play a big role as he's taken over as kind of the leader of the linebacking core. 3rd and inches. Another handoff for Woodson. The offensive line gets him a good push and just enough for a first down.
Yeah, good play call here from Illinois Wesleyan. You're in Blue Jays half already. Just trying to get this first down. Hammer it up, just need a couple yards, and they're able to get it on that play.
Clock rolls under a minute. Smith, option play, dumps it off for Woodson, stretching it out, and he gets knocked out of bounds. Mike Murray trying to coach up his Blue Jays here, not pleased with the results, even though Elmhurst is able to hem in Woodson and keep him to a short gain.
Yeah, they've done a lot better as of late containing these outside runs from the Titans. Titans in that first quarter just hammered the ball outside and got a lot of yards and long yards on the ground. Blue Jays doing better to contain them in this second quarter.
Second and 8, inside the 30. Smythe sets the feet, airs it out, up the right sideline, incomplete. But there was a clear pass interference penalty committed by Jeffrey Laylighter, who had a handful of the jersey.
Yeah, and that's the second penalty that's cost Elmhurst a lot of yards for Laylighter. Had the face mask last drive that cost Elmhurst. They were able to get the stop and recover.
And so it's actually a holding call, since they're saying Laylighter committed the penalty before the ball was in the air. So they'll put it at the 17-yard line and give the Titans a fresh set of downs. So they're resetting the game clock here to 26 and a half seconds. They give the Titans 1.5 back. They still have 2 timeouts in the back pocket as they try to pad their 27-point lead before recess.
Yeah, and if you're the Titans, you really, like I said, want to put this game away here. You already pretty much got a field goal. You would love a touchdown going into the half with the ball coming your way on offense in the second half. Great opportunity for him here on the 15-yard line.
Second and 8. Smythe drops back. Rolls out to the right, running out of time. And he'll just drop it out of play.
And great coverage there for the Elmhurst defense as we have a flag on the field.
Justin Harris commits that roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and that's yet another bad break for the Blue Jays. Not great discipline for him there. Had the wide receivers well covered downfield and in the end zone. Great coverage from the Blue Jays, and then you rough the passer after he's throwing it out of bounds.
Yeah, there was nothing there for the Titans on a really well-defended play. Smythe looks left, pass batted down. Malachi Correa got his hands up to break up that pass.
Blue Jays want to bend and don't break here, trying to stop the Titans before they get in the end zone going into halftime. Just take that a little bit of a momentum on defense into the half.
Playbook remains open here for Wesleyan with 2 timeouts. They can do whatever they want, run or pass, with 14 seconds left. Elledge and McMillan motion to the left side of the line. Smythe throwing over the middle, looking for Elledge, broken up. Chris Reeves was there.
This is a great pass from Smythe to get it over to the defender and just put it in a basket for him. Just over number 37 for the Blue Jays. That's Connor DeVries. Tried to get up, just a little bit out of reach for him.
The Blue Jays trying to keep Illinois Wesleyan out of the end zone. First 5 drives for the Titans all resulted in touchdowns. And the Blue Jays want to dial up something different defensively, so Mike Murray uses one of those 3 timeouts that he's held on to. Mike Murray, the second-year head coach for Elmhurst, but he has a lot of Illinois Wesleyan ties. Get this, Dawson. He graduated from Illinois Wesleyan, where he was an all-conference honoree in football and baseball. He got his coaching start with the Titans, spent 10 seasons as a defensive coordinator for Illinois Wesleyan. He helped lead them to CCIW titles in 1992 and 1996. After some stints at Dubuque and Benedictine, he returned to Wesleyan in 2003, won 2 more conference titles in 2007 and 2009. Now they're just another conference foe.
Yeah, long journey here for Mike Murray, going back to facing his alma mater. Not the result he would want so far in this game, but hopefully Blue Jays can get a stop here and turn it around.
He also coached track and field and golf at Wesleyan in the 80s and the 90s, so he was a do-it-all coach in his early days with the Titans. Now trying to build something different at Elmhurst and hoping his Blue Jays can get a stop here on 3rd and goal. 8 seconds until halftime. Smythe takes the snap, lobs it, corner of the end zone. Jimmy Deasy's there, and he's got it. The Titans strike just before halftime, and they've put up 40 points in the first half.
And this is a great adjustment from Jimmy Deasy. Back corner, it was back shoulder, is able to turn around and just pick that ball out of the air to score the touchdown, his first of the year.
And the first of his career, the sophomore out of Chicago, who had 7 receptions in the season opener for the Titans, gets a big grab with 1 second on the clock. That puts the Titans up 33. The extra point from Caden Youngie. And that one flutters to the uprights. One more look at a perfect ball from Smythe.
Yeah, great throw from Smythe and great adjustment while the ball was in the air from DC. Ball was thrown to his back shoulder, was able to turn around and snag it before going to ground for the touchdown.
And Smythe has been effective, completing 67% of his passes, but he hasn't had to throw it far. And 63 yards on those 10 completions.
Yeah, the Titans have been pretty dominant on the ground, completely opposite of what they did last game. So far in this game, the Titans on 24 attempts have 184 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. They've been really pounding the ball on the ground and have been dominant doing so.
Yeah, hard to believe this team only rushed for 15 yards in their last outing. And it's a little squib onside kick. And the Titans elect not to put it deep, and they recover it at the 47.
Yeah, it's such a difficult play for a returner on.
And enough time did elapse to finish off the first half. So an interesting decision before the break. And we'll step aside for halftime. Illinois Wesleyan with a dominant first half. They lead 41-7 as we pause at Langhorse Field.
I came to Elmhurst and we were walking around, I just saw a lot of people interacting, whether it was in the Crons Forum, whether it was here on the mall, or anything like that. Like, I could just tell that there was that sense of community, and it just feels so natural and like a home. If someone came to me and said like Elmhurst and like their top 2-3 choices for schools, I would say go for it.
Elmhurst helped me through more than the other schools. Elmhurst would call me every week about the financial aspect of it and about helping me see which credits would transfer over so I would know how many years I would have to stay. When I came to the school, everybody was exactly what they were. Everybody was real helpful. Like, every year they helped me with my financial aspect of it, and grade-wise, the teachers are always here. You can email them at any time. Believe what you see, because the people really care about you here.
My experience with applying here and transferring over from College of DuPage was wonderful. Actually, it was probably the easiest transfer of any kind I've ever made in my life. My hand was held, questions were answered before I had a chance to ask them. It helped me actually to make the decisions that I needed to make without trying to figure out what questions do I need to know. That warmth, that friendliness, the opening of the door for you as you walk in.
Elmhurst is a great place to start off, even at my age, to come back to. The MBA program, the price of it is affordable. The location is very convenient. The teachers are phenomenal. I can't ask for a better school to go to.
One of the things that inspired me within Elmhurst is to take on bigger responsibilities. So I'm starting a young professionals network in our company, and we're building it up, and I'm taking a lot of experience from the things that everyone else has done and from this cohort and from Elmhurst, and trying to develop this in our company. So overall, it's been a great experience.
The ELSA program is a place where kids with special needs can just go and gain more independence and meet a bunch of great new people. The program helps me become more organized because you have to know where you have to be at a certain time. I value the friendships that I've really gotten to make here. Everyone should come to the ELSA program.
I love Elmhurst. It's small enough to where you feel like you're in a community of friendship, but it's also got so many connections.
It's close to home. It has many opportunities in the area.
I've developed wonderful relationships with the professors and clinical supervisors, and I really felt like I was an individual and that I mattered.
If you're considering different graduate programs, definitely come visit Elmhurst. They have endless opportunities.
There's people to help support and guide you throughout the whole journey.
I feel safe and supported since the moment I arrived at Elmhurst University.
When we first enter the school, they will offer the courses for security, safety tips, and also the status for international students.
When I first arrived here, so I have the orientation. I was having a jet lag at that point, and I couldn't join every activity. The leader of my OSL leader, and she would just keep on texting me, asking me if I'm okay, and I feel so welcome and loved.
Welcome to your richly deserved Elmhurst University Commencement Day.
It is my honor to present my sister, Alpha M. Brady, as a candidate for the degree of the Doctor of Law, honoris causa. I am deeply honored to stand here as an alumna of Elmhurst University. It was Elmhurst College when I was here, that tells you a little bit. The place where I not only began my professional journey, but also where I came to truly understand the power of knowledge, perseverance, and most importantly, community.
We pray that your light shines down upon these young people who now begin a new journey.
It's my honor to present Dr. William Benici as a candidate for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Keep your options open. Find that hidden talent and explore it. You will never know where it will lead you, and it might lead you down a path you never imagined.
representing your alma mater. We are very proud of you. Congratulations again.
Class of 24. Away we go!
My name is Danielle Corliss, and I am in Elmhurst University's online MENP program. I believe that nursing is a calling. If you have an interest in healthcare, this is a very diverse field to go into, and you have a lot of options on what areas you want to work. I'm really excited to be a clinical nurse leader because there is a strong possibility to improve patient outcomes and improving the conditions that nurses and other medical professionals work in. I really hope to impact the lower income or underserved communities. Coming from Kentucky, where I was an EMT, and then even in my clinicals here in the Chicagoland area, there are a lot of underserved communities and they don't have access to the proper health resources. And I feel like focusing on those lower income, underserved communities can really help the healthcare system in general, but can also improve the overall health in these populations. My favorite part of this program has definitely been the clinicals. So my big aha moment during this program was during my critical care rotation. I was at a Trauma 1 center in Chicagoland area, which was a very great experience. And working in the ICU and in the ED, that's when I really knew this is what I wanted to do. Listening to my classmates and my friends talk about their experiences in clinical has been a really exciting experience, just to hear that they're doing well and that they're having the experience that we all hoped for, and that we're able to put the knowledge that we've learned in class into the actual setting and into the real world with real patients. It's very exciting because we're almost at the finish line. It's a very proud moment for us.
After my undergrad here, I was working kind of locally with a couple former alumni in kind of a business setting, and so I was kind of interested by that. And then to get this degree was a huge opportunity for me and something that I just couldn't pass up. From the first class, couple classes, you know, the instructors brought a lot of their personal experiences in. So it was a lot less of like, hey, let's just read the book, let's go over the text. It was more like what they brought to the table, what they've learned in their careers. And for me, that was huge because being in the small size class, you know, having an instructor that's going to be more engaging, it just made for a better overall experience. I was always looking for something that was going to be data driven. I was really interested in some of the storytelling that we did with the marketing class. So in my career currently, I'm an insights manager at a market research firm. Having the opportunity to specialize in something made it easier for me to narrow in on an industry. When I transitioned from the MBA program into my role now, I felt like I could take on things right away and hit the ground running. It's not only getting the degree and, you know, using it to elevate your career, but I learned a lot about myself as far as being challenged and stretched to be able to balance, you know, coaching and classwork and a job and, you know, relationships, you know, friends and family and things outside of that. That was so unique to me, and to anyone that's considering this, I mean, absolutely do it. Yes, it's going to be hard. Anything worth having is going to be hard, but you learn a lot about yourself by doing it.
When I graduated in 2020 with my undergrad, I knew I wanted to continue my education. It was a natural choice to come back to Elmhurst. I had grown to know and love the faculty, the students, the environment, the curriculum, you know, the flexibility behind the MBA program. Since I didn't really have a specialization, I took that time to take entrepreneurial classes, marketing classes, to see which path I really wanted to take. And in doing so, that allowed me to kind of figure out what I wanted to do afterwards. An exciting thing that the MBA has enabled me to do, I have two different perspectives, one of my own obviously, but also from my profession. I do talent acquisition, so I'm able to review resumes and applications of people who have and do not have master's degrees or MBAs, so I know the real life implications of having an MBA. For myself, it just allowed me the opportunity to take that extra step in my education and help to understand which direction I wanted to go. If you're looking for an opportunity to connect with others, to build networks, this is a great opportunity to do that. There's a small class size. They focus on team building and projects revolved around that. So Elmhurst gives you that opportunity to, not only see what you're good at, maybe learn from others and see how they work and how they work with others and how you could maybe expand upon that. If it wasn't for Elmhurst, I don't know what I'd be doing right now.
Transformative education happens not just in classrooms, laboratories, and libraries.
Throughout the university's history, our gymnasiums and playing fields have been the sites of wins and losses, but also of lifelong friendships formed and lifetime lessons learned.
If I could send a message to the donors, I'd thank them for everything, because I do everything that I do on this court because of them. I'm able to use these facilities to the best of my ability, and I'm able to do well in sports and academics because of them.
The cohort model is actually really wonderful because you get to meet lots of different people from all different backgrounds, all different ages.
Everybody's unique in their own way, where we express our ideas and we learn different things from each other.
I didn't really kind of realize how helpful it was going to be, how much I would rely on my classmates.
We all are able to reach out to each other to help each other. Nobody's left in the dark. We all learn together that way, and so it helps us all succeed together and makes us happier about each other's successes as we move on.
It actually has become a support system for me.
I had a few wonderful classes that gave me some real world experience.
One of my classes entailed going through a simulation. It makes you collaborate with other people in your cohort. And it just makes it more engaging.
I got a chance to have an internship. They liked me so much that they offered me a contract.
I was able to get an internship. It did help me find that might not be the right path for me, but at least with a business administration degree from Elmhurst, it matches a lot of roles more than just one thing, so it's very versatile.
Being a military-friendly school was a big part of why I selected Elmhurst.
Military benefits actually helped me completely with my education, as I wouldn't have gone back to school if it hadn't been for the military benefits.
By being able to use the GI Bill at Elmhurst, I was able to really just focus on my education and doing well in the program versus having to worry about the financial aspect of paying for school.
It was seamless and easy to process. They also are part of the Yellow Ribbon program, which helped make up the difference for the cost that the GI Bill did not.
The company I work at has a tuition reimbursement program.
I'm actually able to leverage my Montgomery GI Bill, my post 9/11 GI Bill, in order to afford college. Elmhurst is also part of the Yellow Ribbon program that If you apply for that, they might be able to pay for most of your tuition, if not all of it.
So at my previous college, they have an honors program, and Elmhurst has a deal or like a partnership, and a student that graduates with honors has the chance to apply for the scholarship, and I was lucky enough to get it.
With my degree, I'm hoping to gain skills that would open opportunities with my current employer.
I feel much more comfortable, being able to apply for roles that I was not able to before.
This degree will help me make myself more marketable.
All of these opportunities that are opening up, I want to take them. It's important for me and for my family.
The EMP program is set up where you can succeed in less time with a little bit less out of your pocket.
The return on the investment will pay off. The knowledge you'll gain, the skills you'll gain, the memories are all worth it.
The teachers, the staff here, everybody here, my academic advisor, everybody's been really wonderful.
The attentiveness of the staff, they are very responsive with building a plan that fits your needs. I feel like a lot of the material that's applied to our classes is very relevant to today's world.
It's nice having teachers that actually have done the stuff that they're teaching in the real professional world, and they're able to lend that experience to us as they're teaching.
The staff here at Elmhurst definitely challenges me to keep moving forward and be my best self.
I am currently at the highest level I could go without a degree.
I just recently separated from the military, and I needed a degree to help increase my options.
Something I want to do for myself, but something I want to do to further my career as well.
Actually, to be a really great role model for my son.
I wanted to level up my education, and I felt that Elmhurst would provide that opportunity.
I finished my associates. I just wanted to continue. The opportunity to come to Elmhurst open, and I was like, yes, let's do it.
Just west of Chicago, in a community called Elmhurst, there's a place where you'll grow into a connected thinker and a passionate changemaker, with skills to excel and knowledge that lasts. Elmhurst University. Go far, do well.
Welcome back to Langhorse Field on this steamy end to summer in Chicagoland. Almost 90 degrees for the CCIW season opener between the Elmhurst Bluejays and the Illinois Wesleyan Titans. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday night with Dawson Wells. I'm Jason Doro. And Dawson, not exactly the way that the Bluejays wanted to open up conference play, but statistically they haven't been as bad as the 34-point margin that's on the scoreboard.
Yeah, only a 41 differential in yards per game. Illinois Wesleyan so far, 244 yards on offense. Blue Jays not far behind with 203, but it's been a lot of just late yards, and the turnovers have gotten to the Blue Jays in this game.
Yeah, if we take a closer look at the individual stats here, for the Blue Jays offensively, John Odom, 10 of 21 passing for 140 yards, one touchdown, which was a 41-yard strike to Jacob Cockrell. And Cockrell's been the biggest threat outside of Odom with 5 grabs for 100 yards and that score.
Yeah, he unfortunately had that one fumble at the end of the half to stop the Elmhurst drive trying to get points at the end of the half. But yeah, he's been the main target for Odom. 9 targets with 5 catches so far in this game has been Elmhurst's main receiving threat.
And the running backs haven't done too much for Elmhurst, but the quarterback has on the ground. Odom with 5 carries for 41 yards. On the Wesleyan side, Smythe has thrown for 63 yards on 10 of 15 passing, 2 touchdowns. He's run for more yards, 75 yards on the ground, 2 rushing touchdowns, so he's accounted for 4 of their 6 scores.
Yeah, Smythe not having to do too much in this game based on the Wesleyan rushing offense so far with that 181 yards on the ground. They don't need him to do much in this game other than get the ball off and mitigate turnovers.
Here's a short kick, and a fair catch is called for. So Illinois Wesleyan happy to just squeeze that one near the 35 after the short kick from Davila. It's even more of an uphill battle for Elmhurst as they have to start this second half on defense.
Yeah, it's a tough break for them after going down by a lot of points early in that first half. Now having to start on defense. And they let up that touchdown late in the first half. Would love some momentum, but back on the field is the Elmhurst defense.
Smythe takes the snap, hands off for Danny Kent, who runs into a wall of light blue. And Jesus Moreno, the freshman D tackle, takes him to the turf after a gain of 1.
And you hope, if you're a Blue Jays fan, that this run defense continues so far into this game. After giving up 181 yards on the ground in that first half.
The Blue Jay defense was put in tough spots frequently in the first half. The average starting field position for Wesleyan in the first half was the Elmhurst 46-yard line. So they were often starting their drives in Blue Jay territory.
Yeah, it gives Titans a huge advantage, not having to move the ball a lot on offense.
That pass is batted and then falls incomplete. Smythe was looking for Jimmy Deasy, and it's 3rd down and long.
And that's number 54, Jace Zafiro, again making that pass deflection. I believe he had one in the first half, but great play from him to move over and bat that pass down.
Third down and 9. Smythe takes a low snap. Lobs it far side, looking for Trey Moore, who turns around but can't make the grab. The Blue Jays force a 3 and out.
And it's a great start for the Elmhurst Blue Jays on defense. Smythe had looked like another touchdown pass to Trey Moore if he can get that ball further upfield and down the line, but just underthrew it a little bit, and Trey Moore tried to make a play on it, just couldn't come up with it.
Owen Owens is on to punt, a freshman from Mount Zion, Illinois. And 2 Blue Jays are deep. And he gets a sky ball off. Mendoza can't bring it in. He's still bobbling it. Finally, he secures it inside the 10.
And we're going to have a flag here on the other end of this play. Blue Jays brought a lot of pressure onto the punter. And they ran into him.
So the critical distinction there, it's running into the kicker, not roughing the kicker. So the Blue Jays will keep the ball here, but they're going to be pressed up against their own goal line.
Yeah, and Norm Esch, head coach for the Titans, smartly declines that penalty, seeing as the Blue Jays muff that punt and set them way back here on, I believe, the 8-yard line.
Owens nets almost 60 yards on that punt. Odom leads the Elmhurst offense back onto the field. And he's going to launch it on 1st down, looking for Cockrell, incomplete.
Yeah, just a little bit underthrown on that ball to Cockrell. Bluejays trying to get a lot of yards upfield early, deep in their own territory.
.140 of the 203 total yards for Elmhurst have come through the air, and almost all 200 have come from Odom, who's run for 41 yards. Second and 10. This time it's a handoff for Jalen White between the tackles, and he gets toppled near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Zach McNeese here making a good play on the edge. Was able to try to slow him down just a little bit. Couldn't make the tackle, but Titans able to gang tackle him and bring him down. Minimal gain, and for a loss of a yard.
Third down and 11. Elmhurst is 0 of 6 on third downs today. Odom from his own goal line. Shoots it out to the left, intercepted. Picked off by Jimmy Capecci. Capecci, it's knocked away at the goal line. And it's a touchback. The Blue Jays are going to get the ball back on what was nearly a pick six.
What a crazy sequence of plays here. First off, gets the pick. Odom couldn't really tell who his target was there. Brings it all the way down. And then knocked away at the last possible second. And it's going to be a touchback for the Blue Jays.
Elmhurst really catches a break as Illinois Wesleyan was about to go up by 40.
A huge break for the Blue Jays, and as a result of that play, they move up 12 yards. So Odom just needs to put that pass out of his mind and move on as they start a new drive here, pretty much.
Yeah, both units stay on the field. That was the first interception for either side today. But the Titans are winning the turnover margin 3-0 as the Blue Jays gave away a couple of fumbles in the first half. So first down and 10. Odom gives it off for White. He gets smothered at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere for the junior to go.
Yeah, and the Wesleyan rush defense has been pretty solid in this game. The only real yards they've allowed on the ground are to Odom on QB scrambles and option plays. To actual running backs, not giving up that many yards, only 22 from actual running backs on the ground in this game for the Blue Jays.
And Elmhurst hasn't tried to run it very much with their backs. They have a combined 6 carries. Second and 10. Rush coming. Odom dumps it off, looking for Anderson. Really just threw it into the turf at his feet. Third and long.
Odom had a lot of pressure in his face. McNeese for the Titans, and I believe that's Josh Havelek rushing on the inside. Put a lot of pressure on Odom and just had to get it out quickly.
It felt like a blown screenplay with the way the Titans were in the face of Odom immediately. Third down and 10. Both teams here looking for their first victory of the season after dropping non-conference clashes in their respective season openers 2 weeks ago. Odom takes a high snap, guns this one left. Catch made by Cockrell, but he's shy of the sticks. Gang tackled by Titans, and it'll be fourth down and about 3.
Yeah, Odom finding his main target on the night, Cockrell, just trying to make something happen, just unable to as the Titans swarm to the football. They're able to stop him before he gets that first down marker.
Out comes Giovanni Oristano. 3 punts today with an average of 26 yards, a long of 41. A towering punt that's brought in by Polygonis at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, and again, great field position here for the Titans, right around midfield to start their technically their opening drive of this second half.
Well, the Elmhurst defense has improved as this game has rolled along. They gave up touchdowns on the first 5 Titan drives of the day, but they've forced punts on 2 of the last 3 Titan opportunities. Smythe keeps it here and gets toppled just across midfield, a rush of 7 on first down.
And Smythe has made some great decisions here with this option. We've seen it a lot so far in this game, as he has 78 yards rushing on the ground so far. More rushing yards from their quarterback than passing, as the Titans really attack the ground game and their offensive rushing.
185 rushing yards for the Titans after they posted just 15 in their season opener. Smythe tucks this one, rolls out to the right, stays in bounds, and then he gets spun out of bounds just across the 40. Another easy run for the Titan quarterback.
Yeah, and it's another option play here. Could give it to the running back, but decides to use him as a blocker here and run for the first down.
Smythe only had 182 rushing yards all of last season. He went for -2 yards on the ground in the season opener. But he is just tearing it up on the ground today, averaging 6.5 yards per carry. And keeps it on another read option. Slips past one defender. DeVries runs him out of bounds. No gain.
That's better from the Blue Jays here. 3 options in a row for the Titans. Elmhurst does a better job to get off blocks and contain Smythe in the backfield before he's able to get off field.
Just over 5 minutes gone in the second half. No scores yet in this third quarter. And the Elmhurst defense looking for back-to-back stops for the first time today. Second and 11. As Smythe quickly chucks it to the left side, and the pass is broken up. Laylighter comes flashing in to break it up.
And there's Laylighter. Had a couple of penalties in that first half to really cost Elmhurst a lot of field possession, but finally makes a good play there, deflecting that pass for the incompletion. And it brings up a big third down for the Titans behind the sticks.
Smythe is 10 of 18 through the air for 63 yards. In the gun on 3rd and 11. Rush coming. Gets it away. Too short for Trey Moore. Once again, the Elmhurst defense holds.
And Elmhurst defense brought the house on this play. A lot of pressure on the quarterback as Smythe takes a big hit on the throw as he's releasing the ball. Definitely affected the throw a little bit as it was short. And Titans have to punt.
And this would be the 4th consecutive punt for the Titans, if not for the roughing the passer that Elmhurst committed on a 3rd and long, in which the Titans could not convert. So the defense certainly improving as Owens shanks this punt to the left. And Elmhurst will get great field position after that botched boot.
Yeah, this is going to be Elmhurst's best field position on an opening drive of the game, starting off at around the 39-yard line.
Now, we talked about the fact that Wesleyan's average drive has started just across midfield. The average starting field position for Elmhurst, their own 25. So this is better than average as they start at the 32. Odom gives this one to Porter, looking to stretch it out to the near sideline. A couple of white jerseys swarm to him, holding him to a short gain.
Yeah, Porter trying to find that edge, but a couple of Titans break through the blocking to mitigate the gain from Porter.
Joshua Klein, fifth-year linebacker, in on that tackle. So much experience and so much depth on this Titan defense. Bluejay head coach Mike Murray said that maybe the biggest challenge of this game is trying to overcome the gap in experience. Odom throws left, too short, brought in by Cockrell, and he thought about running since that pass was nearly sideways. You have to be careful here to make sure it's not a fumble, but it is an incompletion.
Yeah, and that's a pass you have to make if you're Odom. Getting out wide to one of your best playmakers, trying to get the ball in his hands and let him do something, but just short-armed it a little bit, and it goes incomplete. Brings up a tough third down here for the Blue Jays, trying to get something going on offense.
Odom in his first year with Elmhurst after transferring over from Judson. A lot of players in just their first or second year with Elmhurst, while Illinois Wesleyan has tons of veterans on this defense. 3rd and 7. Odom sets the feet, steps up, slips past one defender, dodges to his right, and then dives forward right at the sticks. They're going to give him a first down.
And we've seen it time and time again in this game. Odom stepping up in the pocket when he doesn't have anything downfield and just using his feet to make some plays. Just able to get to that first down yardage. And Odom has rushed for 41 yards on this game on 5 attempts. Has been almost his best rusher in this game.
Yeah. Mike Murray thought that Odom had really learned the playbook and the style that this Elmhurst team wanted to run offensively because he transferred in the winter. So he was able to play in spring ball. He got to know the players, built a rapport with this receiving core. And Murray said that he really proved himself, and he's excited to see Odom's development as the Blue Jays starting quarterback. First down. Odom's going to hand this one off for Darius Lane, looking for a hole along the left side. And he'll gain about 5 on first down.
Pretty good run from there for Lane. Around that outside, trying to attack the edge. Almost got some good blocks here. Number 77 for the Blue Jays, Mustafa Denmurum, on that edge, sealing it off and trying to give Lane a gap. He's able to find 5 yards on that play.
Lane, one of the few non-Midwesterners on this roster. He's from Stevens City, Virginia, and transferred to Elmhurst from Valparaiso, now earning his MBA here at Elmhurst. 2nd and 5. Odom zips it over the middle, incomplete, off the hands of Holtke.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good throw from Odom. Put it right where it had to be. Maybe just a tad bit behind him, but Holtke's got to make that catch for the struggling Elmhurst offense.
Odom not having a lot of time to throw. This Elmhurst team did allow 4 sacks per game last season.
Yeah, 0 sacks so far in this game, but a lot of pressure in his face, making him release the ball early and stepping up into the pocket to try to make a play.
3rd and 5. Odom gives to Porter, and he's swarmed in the backfield, forcing 4th down and long.
Yeah, that play was blown up from the start. No room for Porter to find a gap to run. And Elmhurst's coming out to punt the ball.
Oristano back out to punt it with Polygonis deep. A good punt here, and Polygonis calls for a fair catch, but he muffed it, then he falls back on it. Excellent recovery by the senior to maintain possession.
And I believe that's the second muff he's had in this game, or bobbled punt return. Just able to get back onto it before the Blue Jays do. And Titans offense comes back on the field looking to drive down and increase their lead. bleeding as much clock as they possibly can.
All 48 points here scored in the first half. The defenses have turned the lights out on the offenses since halftime. Smythe still the quarterback. He finds Key in the flat, dances past one defender, and then he's tackled quickly by Charles Scott.
And we saw this a lot in the first half for the Illinois Wesleyan Titans. Putting Key in motion, put him across the formation, and getting him the ball in the flat, and trying to get him to make a play. He's able to get upfield a little bit for a pretty good gain.
First team all-conference wide receiver a year ago. Has 3 grabs for 15 yards. The Blue Jays have done a nice job of bottling him up. Smythe fakes the give, rolls right. With Scott in his face, fires far sideline, catch made. There's Miles Key again for a first down.
Yeah, good rollout here from Smythe. He's done it a lot in this game, running the ball and rolling out, getting outside the pocket, trying to push the ball downfield. He's able to find his favorite target in this game, Key. Or second favorite target in this game for Key, as he makes a good grab for the first down.
Between Trey Moore and Miles Key, Dermot Smythe has a couple of great options. First down, here's the give to Kent between the tackles. He bounces off one defender, evades out to the far sideline, and then finally scampers out of play just shy of the 40.
Yeah, good decision there to bounce this ball outside after getting held up in the middle. He did this earlier in the first half for a very similar play. Held up inside the box, just bounces it out for a large gain.
20-yard rush for Danny Kent. Wesleyan has cycled through its stable of backs tonight using Kent, Scott, and Woodson. Smythe in the gun with time. Fires deep down the sideline. He finds Polygonis, who stays on his feet and falls out of bounds inside the 10. The longest pass of the day for the Titans.
Great decision here from Smythe, going to his second read, finding him wide open here on the edge of the field. And Polygonis able to haul it in for a large gain.
The longest pass for the Titans until that play was 13 yards. They go for 33 on that hit. And it's first down and goal. Fake handoff. Smythe on the read option, looking for another touchdown. But he gets tackled inside the 5.
Another little option play here for the Titans as Smythe keeps it, as he's done so a lot of times in this game. Running the ball 16 times. He's their leading attempts rusher as a quarterback. Running for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. Keeps it again there. He's able to get 6 yards.
It's almost a replica of last year for Smythe, who had 110 total yards and 4 touchdowns in last year's matchup that the Titans won 49-13. He keeps it again, and he's added another 3 rushing scores, 5 total touchdowns for Smythe. And Illinois Wesleyan has put 47 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, this Elmhurst defense just can't seem to stop the run, allowing 224 yards on the ground in this game and 5 rushing touchdowns. A majority of that coming from Smythe on these option keepers, and he's just hurting the Elmhurst defense in this game.
Caden Youngie on for another PAT. And he makes it 48 points. After posting a first half 40 burger, the Titans are finally back in the end zone.
Yeah, this is completely opposite offense of what the Titans did in their last game. Only getting 15 yards on the ground in their last matchup. Tonight they have 224, completely different offensive philosophy coming into this game, and it's really proven effective against this Elmhurst defense, who's allowed a lot of rushing yards in this season so far. Last game for the Elmhurst defense, they allowed 233 yards rushing. Same storyline tonight.
That last drive spanned 6 plays for 77 yards. Smythe caps it off with the 4-yard scamper. So Illinois Wesleyan on track to add to its huge lead in the all-time series history. They lead 58-12-1. As Youngie lofts this one just inside the 20. And the Blue Jays elect for a fair catch. Well, what's the focus now for this Elmhurst squad over the final 17 and a half minutes?
Well, this game pretty much over at this point for the Elmhurst Blue Jays, barring a huge comeback in this game. You just want to get a little bit of momentum to head into next week and get the offense moving a little bit more effectively than it has.
Mike Murray, in his second year as head coach, said that last season he tried to just lay the building blocks for this program, a new foundation. This year he's hoping to build on top of that, layering in his first real recruiting class. Trying to build here late in quarter number 3, but Odom is swarmed and dropped. Sacked by Matt Hansen.
Yeah, Matt Hansen blew up a play last drive for the Titans, able to get around the lineman there for the Blue Jays. And he was able to get the first sack of the day for the Titans.
At this point for Elmhurst, you're trying to build some experience, get some kind of momentum going into next week. They'll play another home game hosting North Park a week from today. And this offense certainly has shown flashes of brilliance. Just haven't been able to sustain the way that the Titans have. Second and long. Odom's pass batted right back to him. It looks like he caught it and then just downed himself. Went straight back to the turf after catching his own pass.
Yeah, here's Odom with the trying to hand it off. Play action, batted down. Yeah, right back to him, and he catches it, trying to make something happen. Down at 41 points in this game. Now it puts the Blue Jays far behind the sticks for a long third down.
The burden has been on him to get it done offensively today, and that was a dark twist as he was forced to catch his own pass and try to make something out of nothing. Third and extra long. Here comes the rush again, and the pass falls off the fingertips of Jalen White. Fourth down.
Yeah, trying to get a screen pass going, and just time and time again, the Elmhurst Blue Jays just unable to get something going on offense. Drops that pass through the fingertips, and they have to punt on 4th and 22.
Oristano comes back out. Punt number 6 of the day. Polagana stepping up and says, everyone run away from this thing. Titans will get it inside Blue Jay territory. Already up by 41. Well, the last meeting at Langhorse Field was a lot closer than this one. That was a 21-17 game. But interestingly, Dawson, the last two matchups between these two were both season finales. They were games in late November when the temperature was much cooler. Illinois Wesleyan maybe with a bit more of advantage when it's 90 degrees at kickoff. And they'll run up the middle on first down for a short gain.
Yeah, Elmhurst able to kind of stop the run here in this hot weather. Both teams battling it out. Game of endurance, and Illinois Wesleyan was able to strike early. We've seen the offenses both struggle in this second half. You got to think it's a little bit due to the heat after that long first half. Both sides going back and forth down the field.
And the Titans will run out the clock here in the third quarter. So an offensive explosion in the first half gives way to a defensive stalemate in the third quarter. The Titans with the only touchdown in that period. And after 3, it's Illinois Wesleyan 48, Elmhurst 7. Welcome back to Langhorse Field. Thanks for joining us for this conference season opener and home opener for the Elmhurst Bluejays. Those Bluejays trail by 41 as we open up period number 4. And Malik Gray runs it right up the middle for the Titans to bring up third down and short.
Yeah, gave him a huge hole right up the middle. Again, into that second level of Elmhurst defenders. The linebackers having to make that play is the D-line just not able to stop the run in this game whatsoever.
.225 rushing yards for the Titans today. Here's another give for Gray. He's going to cut back to his left and tiptoe his way through a couple of different light blue jerseys to get a first down.
Yeah, trying to attack this outside here. We just had a free defender, just missed the tackle. Chris Reeves for the Blue Jays came in unblocked, just not able to bring Gray down.
First and 10, Woodson's entered the game at running back. And he takes the give here on first down. Breaks it all the way out to the far left side before he's thrown out of bounds with a gain of 8.
Yeah, we saw this a lot in the first half for the Titans attacking this outside of the Elmhurst defense and finding plenty of yards to run.
And whistles blow here for a Blue Jay injury. Aitor Benya was slow to get back up. Junior from Glenview is able to gingerly walk off the field. He had a great season last year. 8.5 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and a fumble forced and a fumble recovered. Mike Murray said he really likes his motor and explosiveness. And this is actually his first game this season because he had knee surgery in the offseason and needed a little extra time to get back to 100%. So Ogbenya comes off. It'll be second down and 2. By the way, Joseph Brummer has entered at quarterback for the Titans. Brummer gives to Gray. Around the left edge again. And he's got a first down.
Yeah, good run here from Gray, breaking a couple tackles, getting upfield for the Titans for the first down. And these Illinois Wesleyan Titans are just angry runners. All of their runs seem to break a couple tackles before they're able to be brought down in this game. It seems like every rush they break at least 1 or 2.
And they got some bulldozers in the backfield who are not afraid of contact. First and 10 for Brummer and company. And Brummer throws incomplete. Looking for Jack Friedewald.
Yeah, it looks like Elmhurst got away with a little bit of a hold there. Wide receiver for the Titans, unable to get his second arm up, but no call from the referee.
Mostly second stringers now for Illinois Wesleyan. Brummer on 2nd and 10. Rolling right, gets nailed as he lofts it toward the sideline, and a great catch is made.
What a great play here from Brummer, able to maintain composure, get this ball off, knowing he's going to get absolutely decked in the backfield, and puts it in the bucket for the completion on that play.
Yeah, Christian Cloutier brings it in. So the Titans demonstrating their depth here as the second stringers compile a solid drive. 1st and goal. High snap, handoff Gray, running behind left tackle. And eventually he's nabbed by a Bluejay around the ankles and taken down just shy of the 5.
Gray trying to do what his counterpart Danny Kent has done, being patient, waiting for something to open up, which nothing ever did, and he's swallowed up in that backfield.
The clock rolls here in the 4th quarter as the Titans face 2nd and goal. Brummer gives to Gray. They love the left side. Gray sticking with it, reaches for the end zone and comes up a little short. Down at the 1.
Yet again, Titans running backs breaking a lot of tackles on this play, just bouncing off defenders on his way to the goal line, just short of the goal line. Looks like on the half-yard line there.
And there's an injured Bluejay getting stretched out near the 10. Looks like it's Mayon Lowry, the senior linebacker. And Lowry will jog off. Well, Mike Murray acknowledged coming into this game that the opposition had a lot more experience, and that's not just on the field, but among the coaching staff too. Norm Esch, the 38th year head coach for Illinois Wesleyan, the longest tenured head coach in college football currently. And he has drawn up a perfect game plan to guide the Titans to victory tonight. Gray up the middle, trying to bulldozer his way in. And he's home. Touchdown, Titans.
And yet another touchdown on the ground for the Titans as they score their 6th rushing touchdown of the game. Gray just able to keep his legs moving and fight to get in the end zone. Elmhurst just unable to stop him before he gets there.
So Johnny Miles will get to handle this PAT. The punter instead of kicker Caden Youngie. And Laylighter almost blocked it, but Miles boots it up and through the uprights. And the Titans extend their lead after this touchdown for the sophomore Malik Gray. His first collegiate score. So I mentioned, Dawson, that Norm Esch, the 38th year head coach for Illinois Wesleyan. He's the longest tenured head coach currently in college football. He ranks first in victories among active D3 head coaches with 228. But I got a little trivia for you. If you include all NCAA levels, D1 through D3, who are the active coaches with the most victories? I'm putting you on the spot.
Ooh, that's a tough question.
There's 2 tied at 285.
Is it North Carolina's head coach, Mac Brown,
285. That's pretty darn good. He did not add to that tally today as North Carolina fell against James Madison. As this will be a touchback. And the other one?
That one I do not know.
Brian Kelly. But he didn't get all of those at the D1 level, as he coached at, I believe it was Grand Valley up in Michigan before getting the Notre Dame job and, of course, the LSU job. So he may have slipped past Mac Brown today if the Tigers got a victory when the Tar Heels lost. And it looks like he did. They beat UCLA at 34-17. So Norm Esch among the all-time greats in college football. Odom still in at quarterback. Dumps this one off for Mendoza. And the tight end's got a short gain on first down.
Yeah, and Odom rolling out of the pocket again, making a play out, using his feet, create the space for his receiver, get some couple yards, trying to build some momentum going into next week on offense of the Blue Jays here.
Mike Murray told me that there'd be significant competition at quarterback because he thinks they have a lot of depth. Jack Leons did play a good amount in the season opener. He was 6 of 12 for 49 yards, and I'm curious to see if we'll see the junior Leons at some point in this fourth quarter. Here's a handoff for Porter. Runs around the far sideline and gets bludgeoned out of bounds at midfield. Really nice run for Porter all the way out to midfield.
Yeah, great run from Porter here. He's had a couple kick returns in this game where he's gotten a lot of yards and kind of showed that off right there. Pretty explosive runner and able to rush through tackles to get that yards after contact.
As far as open field abilities come, he may be the Blue Jays' best. Able to make men miss, and he's got some wheels. So 1st and 10 here. Still Odom and Porter in the backfield. Odom rolls left, trying to square up. Now we'll keep running, and he's taken down near the line of scrimmage. Matt Hansen gets there.
Yeah, and Odom was looking for Cockrell here. Only wide receiver on this near side for the Blue Jays, just well covered. And Odom ran out of time before being brought down for the sack.
Odom just tosses it into the flat, looking for Jalen White, incomplete. That brings up 4th down.
Yeah, and Odom had to rush this throw here. A lot of early pressure in his face. Not a lot of time to get rid of the ball, and that definitely affected his throw. Just out in front and too far for his receiver, Mendoza.
So 3rd down and 12 here, correction. Midway through the 4th quarter. Odom throwing to the left side over the head of Cockrell.
Looks like a little bit of miscommunication and wide throw here between Cockrell and Odom. just can't find anything going for the Elmhurst offense as they're forced to punt yet again in this game. As the Blue Jays offense has really struggled here in this second half.
Oristano to punt. So we have a different punt returner back there. Will Nazha calls for a fair catch and brings it in just shy of the 25. Well, Mike Murray had 3 big things really for his game plan, what they needed to do to win. He told me stack quality plays on top of each other, take care of the football, don't give up big plays. You wanted to make the Titans work their way down the field as opposed to getting big explosives. And very first play from scrimmage for Wesleyan was a 61-yard touchdown. After that, they haven't had that many big explosive plays. I would say that Elmhurst has at least succeeded in that category in forcing Illinois Wesleyan to produce long drives. You look at those other 2 keys, Dawson, take care of the football. Elmhurst with a few too many turnovers today, but it hasn't been terrible. 3 giveaways, 1 interception, a couple of lost fumbles. They've been able to force 1 turnover of their own, the ball they knocked away at the goal line, leading to a touchback. So the turnover battle lost, but not in a dismal fashion.
Yeah, not terrible. At least getting a couple minimizing turnovers. Odom only throwing that 1 interception has been pretty good, but the fumbles have really killed some of these drives for Elmhurst.
Here's Woodson up the middle, swarmed and brought down. If there are any of those keys where Elmhurst lost the battle, it's stack quality plays on top of each other, because it's just been punch after punch from the Titans. They're able to pound away on the ground. They've averaged 6.5 yards per carry, and they've really played this game at their own terms.
Yeah, and it's been a big second half struggle on offense for the Blue Jays. Only 29 yards of total offense in this second half compared to the explosive, some of these explosive drives we saw from them in that first half.
Third down here for the Titans. And escaping is backup quarterback Chase Mackey. Mackey across midfield. How about that from the third string quarterback?
And you thought when Smythe went out of the game, quarterbacks wouldn't be running very much for the Titans. But here's Mackey with a long run after a lot of pressure from Elmhurst, able to step up in the pocket and get upfield to move it into Elmhurst territory.
Mackey, a sophomore from Bloomington, Illinois, playing for his hometown school. And he's getting a little bit of run here in this route. Handoff for Gray, who scored a touchdown in the last drive. And a shoestring tackle brings him down near the 40.
Yeah, yet again, Gray bouncing off tackles, making people miss. And this Titans O-line has really controlled the line of scrimmage in this game, creating a lot of holes for their running backs and quarterback to find and exploit.
Second and short. And whistles blow before the snap. A rare penalty.
Yeah, first one on the Titans here late in this, halfway through this fourth quarter. Only 4 penalties in this game. Very clean game from both sides.
Yeah, it's certainly something that Elmhurst can take home. They've had a costly penalty or two, but looking at this from the big picture, they have played cleanly today. So 4 minutes, 3 seconds left. Illinois Wesleyan takes timeout, and we'll welcome you back in the booth here at Langhorse Field as we look back at this game here, Dawson. Right from the jump, Illinois Wesleyan started dictating how this one was going to go. A 3-and-out, 61-yard touchdown run. It's been all Titans since.
Yeah, they really dominated in that first quarter, getting off that 21-0 lead. And from there, Elmhurst in a big hole, and Titans just able to explode. They've shown it on offense in this second half, stopping the Elmhurst Bluejays. And it's been all Titans ever since the first quarter, really.
It was 41-7 at halftime. Titans have controlled this second half 14-0. Mackey on a designed run. Clobbered by a couple of Bluejays. About a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, hit hard at the end of this play, but another giant hole for him to run through. This O-line for the Titans has really controlled the line of scrimmage, creating a lot of holes.
So 3rd down and 3 for Mackey and the Titans. Gives it to Gray. Lowers his head and gets dragged to the 35.
He's able to fight through a lot of contact here. Elmhurst doing well to close up holes, but looks like he was could have been brought down closer to the first down marker, but was able to fight and get a couple more yards after contact for a first down.
So the Titans move the chains, and they can taste victory at this point. Woodson stretches to the far sideline. Almost took a huge hit. Luckily avoids that.
Yeah, we heard that hit all the way up here from the press box. Getting that hard hit. Just able to bounce off it a little bit. Almost loses his helmet there on that collision.
And that will bring us down to the 2-minute timeout. As Illinois Wesleyan is just a couple of minutes away from securing their first victory of the season. There's a lot of great history for this Titans program. The last couple seasons haven't been the best. They were 3-7 last year, 6-4 the year prior, a notch above 500. And looks like they have their sights set on big things this year. We'll take a break. 55-7 at the 2-minute timeout.
Being a military-friendly school was a big part of why I selected Elmhurst.
Military benefits actually helped me completely with my education, as I wouldn't have gone back to school if it hadn't been for the military benefits.
By being able to use the GI Bill at Elmhurst, I was able to really just focus on my education and doing well in the program versus having to worry about the financial aspect of paying for school.
It was seamless and easy to process. They also are part of the Yellow Ribbon program, which helped make up the difference for the cost that the GI Bill did not.
One of the powerhouses of the CCIW has flexed its muscles here in the conference opener, and they're looking for more as Miles Gray scampers inside the 20 before he's knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, and Miles Gray coming in as pretty much the lead back in this fourth quarter, making a lot of long runs and explosive plays here for this Titans team as they look to expand on their lead before this game ends.
And these Titans have 9 conference championships and 6 NCAA tournament appearances under head coach Norm Esch, who has led the program for 38 years. Their most recent tourney appearance was in 2017, and they are looking the part of a postseason program right now. Able to put it in cruise control after they went up 21-0 in the first quarter. Essentially walked into halftime with a 5-score lead at 41-7. And the second half was more light work for the Titans as they improved to 1-1. Let's look ahead to what's next for Wesleyan. They get a couple of home games after playing their first 2 on the road. They'll host Carthage next Saturday and then Washington University the following Saturday, October 5th. Meanwhile, for Elmhurst, they stay at home. They'll host North Park next Saturday. Make it out to Langhorse Field for that one. And then they'll go on the road to play Carthage and Augustana the following 2 weeks. Blue Jays dropped to 0-2, but they'll have chances, and they showed some flashes like we talked about, Dawson, today. The defense mostly steamrolled by the Titans, but the offense has some potential, surely.
Yeah, John Odom looked a little bit better than he did last game, competing 13 of 32 passes for 147 yards and a touchdown. But he looked pretty explosive on the ground, outside of the pocket, and making plays on his feet. Elmhurst has something to build upon going into next week.
Yeah, 147 passing yards for Odom, 40 rushing yards. He throws a touchdown to Jacob Cockrell, who we certainly should not forget about. 6 receptions for him, 107 yards, and that touchdown. Pretty big day for Cockrell in the loss. That'll be it for us from Langhorse Field. Thanks so much for joining us, and thanks to my partner, Dawson Wells, for a great first broadcast together. Signing off from Elmhurst, I'm Jason Doro. Illinois Wesleyan takes the conference season opener 55-7 over the Blue Jays.